Canadians across the country are quietly losing access to their own money. Lines of credit are being slashed, accounts are being closed, and capital pulled, all without notice and often without any explanation. I now have multiple verified reports that the Bank of Montreal, one of Canada's big five, is quietly cutting people off from their own money. Canadians who have been relying on their line of credit just to stay afloat in this economy, paying it down diligently, only to log in and find the limit has been slashed in half or worse, shut down entirely. No notice, no warning, just gone. So I called BMO myself and they told me that this has become common practice. Based on a holistic assessment of your account, they'll look at your income, credit score, payment history, and then reduce your access to capital. However, all the reports I've got show increased income, better credit scores, and people who've never missed a payment, and they still had credit reduced or were completely debanked with no explanation. Now, I'm sure there are others doing the same. These are just the reports that I have. So the question is, if it's not about the numbers, what is it about? Let's zoom out. In 2022, during the Freedom Convoy protest, the Trudeau government invoked the Emergencies Act and with a single stroke, froze nearly 100 bank accounts holding $3.2 million. No court order, no charges, just executive overreach. But they didn't stop there. They also went after 170 Bitcoin accounts worth another $7.8 million. This, of course, is not a financial policy, it's a punishment mechanism. It's a warning shot to every Canadian who dares to dissent. Now fast forward to today and we're seeing the tools from that crackdown quietly become policy. According to access to information data from the Financial Consumer Agency of Canada, 837 accounts were shut down between 2018 and 2023 for reasons other than terrorism or money laundering. That's about 167 accounts per year, and that's just the ones they reported. But here's an interesting point to show you the direction that we're trending. The Ombudsman for Banking Services and Investments noted that complaints for being debanked went from 19 in 2019 to 113 in 2023. This is nearly a 600% increase, so safe to say, we're going the wrong way. And if you think this only affects people on some watch list, think again. Legal cannabis businesses still getting debanked. Gun shops, independent media outlets, same thing. Anyone outside the ideological status quo is now at risk, and this isn't just about shutting down access to money, it's about shutting you down, silently, financially, and kind of irreversibly. And here's the real kicker. Once you're debanked in Canada, you're on the blacklist. And because Canada's banking industry is essentially monopolized by the big five, you won't get an account at another big bank because they're all wired into the same system, so you're done. Oh, and one more thing. When your credit gets slashed, you don't just lose access to capital. Your credit score drops because your utilization goes up. So not only are you out of money, now you look worse to other creditors. This is a scorched earth policy, and it's happening right under our nose. So what am I doing? Well, for starters, I'm becoming more bullish on Bitcoin and not on trading platforms that can clearly be frozen, but on a hard wallet. Because when the government can freeze your account with no due process, and a bank can close your account or cut off your credit without cause, then custody matters, privacy matters, and permissionless money matters. And for those wondering, no, this isn't going to get better under Mark Carney and the Liberals. Carney is vocally against Bitcoin and digital currencies that are decentralized, and he played a key role in the emergency measures decision-making while advising Trudeau. So, in fact, it's probably going to get worse. This is the future they want, one where your access to capital depends on how well you comply, and you don't need to break the law to get debanked. You just need to be inconvenient.